Welcome to A Well-Designed Business with your host, Luann Nigara. Luann has a lifetime of experience building a multi-million-dollar business with her husband and cousin, and she knows the challenges you face in your interior design business. Luann brings you real-life answers to your most pressing problems, as well as practical strategies to explode your interior design business. So, let's get to the business of interior design.
Hi, welcome to Power Talk Friday on A Well-Designed Business. Today we have another in our Facebook coaching series. Jessica Brace is with me. Jessica is known as the video broadcasting queen. She is also the best-selling author of Ready, Set, Go Make a Video, 101 YouTube video ideas for your business. Jessica helps us leverage the power of video, and she helps us build a stronger brand. She teaches us to feel both comfortable and courageous in front of the camera, and how to create compelling videos that generate leads for your interior design business. She understands your desire to have your message impact and improve the lives of others. Jessica's clients say her video shoots are fun, easy, and that they deliver lucrative results quickly. After the show, if you want to learn more about Jessica Brace, you should head over to purplemermaidstudios.com/FBLive. purplemermaidstudios.com/FBLive. Once you get there, you're going to find, as listeners of the podcast, that you get your free Profit Accelerator Facebook Live cheat sheet so that you can quickly learn how to broadcast live. Okay? purplemermaidstudios.com/FBLive. Now, while we're talking about Facebook, I just want to say a quick reminder to follow Kravit Inc. on Facebook at facebook.com/Kravit Inc. There you can see all their posts featuring the latest in fabrics, rugs, drapery, hardware, all of it. It's all right there. Follow along and see what they put out. And as a bonus, typically when I'm doing a Kravit event, I am running the Facebook live stream through their page. So if you go there and you subscribe to their page, you'll be able to see anytime we go live and do our shenanigans over at Kravit, okay? Now, I understand that we have recently talked about video a lot on the show. We've had Claire Jeffert talking about video. We've had Molly Maloney talking about video, and today Jessica Brace. And I have to say, I truly believe each one of these people brings some different message to us. And you know me. You know I'm always saying sometimes you have to hear the darn thing 20 different ways until you have your light bulb moment, right? So I'm hoping, because video has become so popular, that somebody, one of these women, will just say that magic thing that you just unlock and go, you know what? I get it. So let's see. Maybe for you today, it's with Jessica Brace. Hang on one second. I'm going to introduce you to her. Hey, Jess, thanks so much for joining me on A Well-Designed Business today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you, and I very much appreciate that you came on to the show with me because, as I said in your introduction, you are quite the expert and well sought after in podcasting circles for your expertise in all sorts of internet marketing and video marketing, and you really have making quite a name for yourself in Facebook Live. And I have enjoyed more than a few episodes of podcasts where you were the featured guest talking about Facebook Live, and it was sort of like, I wonder if I could possibly get Jessica on my show. So I have to say, with just a little bit of networking, it happened, and I am grateful to you for coming on the show. So as you know, and I talked to you about it, that we're doing this whole series, and today you are going to talk to us about Facebook Live. And I think for interior designers, first of all, we've mentioned 2 or 3 times on our show in the last several months, we've had more than a few guests mention how I think the statistic that they've quoted a couple of times independently of each other is that by 2020, something like 80% of all social media that we do will be by video. And so, and of course, we also know from other people in the industry how important Facebook Live and Instagram Stories and Snapchat and all this stuff has become. And so Facebook Live is a particular conundrum because on one hand, I do think it's a great platform for our industry as designers because we are a visual industry. On the other hand, I know that designers struggle with, even just the mechanics of how to do it, but then the content and what to do. So just start us off. Do we want to start with just how to actually do a Facebook Live, or what do you want to do here? How do we get going?
Well, let's talk about what it is.
Okay.
I think a lot of people don't even know like a video, but why do you care?
Great question.
Yeah, because people will say that to me a lot. People are like, I'm already on so much social media and I don't want one more thing to do. So tell me why I should even think about doing this, because I don't want to be on camera, or what am I going to do on camera? So, Facebook Live, and that statistic is great. By 2020, it's over, 80% of all social media will be video. Everything is moving that way. YouTube, the VP of the VP of Facebook, recently spoke in Europe. The vice president of Facebook in Europe recently spoke, and she mentioned that they believe that Facebook is going to be primarily video within the next couple of years. Yeah. And, so confirmed. And you can clearly see that because Facebook is putting a ton of money into Facebook Live. And, there's updates happening all the time with it. And actually, I was really impressed. A few months ago, I flew to Boston and New York on 2 separate business trips. And in both cities, as soon as I got off the plane, in the airport are these giant billboard stations that they set up in the airport encouraging people to Facebook Live that they had arrived.
Whoa.
And then I'm in the city and it's like buses going by, taxi toppers, billboards, video billboards. In Times Square, they actually have Facebook Live videos streamed on the big screen. So Facebook, when in the history of Facebook have you ever seen them spend money on advertising somewhere other than Facebook?
You're right.
And they are. So, success leaves clues. Facebook is putting a ton of money into building out this platform. They're putting a ton of money into advertising it and getting people on it. They're even paying celebrities a few $1,000s each time that the celebrity uses Facebook Live on their phone.
Wow. Jeez.
Like Marcus Lemonis from The Prophet, they pay him to do Facebook Live. Every time he goes on Facebook Live, ka-ching, Facebook pays him for doing a Facebook Live.
Okay. So it's true. I mean, we've been hearing these rumblings and it's sort of like you said. I have to say, I have said similar to myself and to others, oh my goodness, do I have to do another thing? But this is becoming the thing. And if you stick with doing something that's not video based because it's hard to learn, or you feel like it's hard to learn, or you just don't want to do it, you're going to be left behind very quickly.
Yeah, I really, a lot of people are one of the funny things is, we create these figure eights or these backwards circles that we get caught in our businesses and in our thinking. And one of the things is, well, I already have to spend so much time writing blog posts and it takes forever for me to write a blog post and I just don't have time to do video.
Right.
And then it's like, or I'm spending so much time on this other social media because I have to write all these posts and create all these images and do all this stuff. And it takes so much time that I don't have any more time to do video. And you create this crazy 8 of I'm stuck in this infinite loop of I've got to write content, create images, do all this stuff because I need to be out there and I don't have time to do video or even learn or think about it. But if we stop riding that crazy 8 train and we reverse it a minute and we just step back and say, I can create that same content in a minute or less because all I need to do is take my phone out of my pocket or my purse, hit the record button, and talk just as if I was having a conversation. And that's how you can create your content.
Okay, so I don't know if we want to go right to content now or if there's steps ahead, but I do have questions regarding that take your phone out and just create content. So should I go there, or do we let you continue in a certain way about the mechanics?
I'm here for you.
Okay. So, all right. So then let's pop right there to that then. So that's one of the things that I feel like is a common struggle is, yes, it is easy to pop it out and just do a live video, but then also what's worth live video. How's that for a word? Videoing. Like for instance, if I'm going to take the time to write a blog post, I'm carefully considering it and I'm wording it and it's labor intensive, but when it's done, I'm 100% sure that it's a quality piece of content. Whereas if I go Facebook Live and I haven't pre-thought it out and I haven't all this stuff, it's like, whoa, what nonsense did I just put out there? So what are your suggestions on that? Do you still think that as much as you said, yes, it's easier to do it in 1 minute, do you ascribe and do you believe that you still sort of plan it out and figure it out and know what you're going to, I don't mean the actual word for word thing, but the content that you're going to put out over the day or the week or the month?
I do. So I have 2 types of Facebook Lives that I do, and I recommend for most businesses that I've worked with, and I've worked with so many different types of businesses using live video and live broadcasting, there's 2 types. There's the pop on, which is, hey, this just happened to me, or I'm in this really cool place, or check this out, and I'm just going to pop on and do a video right now, right here, in the moment, and be fully present in the video for what's occurring at this time. So those are called pop-on videos, and those are fun. Those are a little bit, from a marketing perspective, a little bit different because your audience to see the video live doesn't really have much time to react to actually get on the video to watch it live because they didn't know it was coming.
Okay.
So that one, those type of videos, you can't always expect that you're going to have a ton of live viewers, but you will end up with replay viewers who will watch the video later on. And that's another huge piece of Facebook Live, is that the live is live, and that's great, but the live lives on in the replays because the replays live forever.
Okay.
And so, people will start and they'll be like, I only had 1 person show up to my live video consistently. And then I'll say, well, how many people are watching it after on the replays? Because it's still you delivering content. And it still works and is still effective. So pop-ups are really great for that. But when you're first starting out, please consider it as a positive that there's not a ton of people showing up for your lives right away because your audience is still getting used to you being live. It's new for them. Mm-hmm. So the other part of doing a live broadcast is the pre-planned ones. So those are ones where you kind of sit down and put a little bit more thought to it. And I keep mine really, really simple. There's a strategy that I teach in my Facebook Live Academy, which is really straightforward. And it's called the Video Planner Worksheet, because we have fancy names here.
Well, it does make it more official, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's just simple as that. It's like, okay, what am I going to talk about? And I'm going to talk about this topic. So you write the topic down. And then, okay, great. So what do I want them to do at the end of the video? What's your call to action? And you probably thought I was going to say, what's my content next? What am I going to talk about? And I don't. What I do is every video should have a purpose. And most people who come to me and say, hey, I've done 100 Facebook Lives and I haven't gotten any sales from it, it's because they're not asking for the sale, or they're not asking for a lead. Or they're not offering any type of incentive for people to contact them. So when I create a video, the first thing I do is decide what I'm going to talk about, and I write my topic down. And then I decide what is going to be my offer at the end. So are they going to download my Facebook Live cheat sheet? Are they going to join my She Broadcast group? Or are they going to schedule a call with me so that I can do a video profit strategy session with them and discover what type of video would work best for their business? So those are my 3 core offers that I have for my business. So when I'm creating the topic, I'll say, well, which one fits really well with this topic? And then once I know what my call to action is at the end, I back that track up. And then I create my content to lead them to what my offer is at the end. Okay,
so let's see if we could make an example that relates to the designers listening. So let's say a designer is going to select a topic of how to, frame art, how to select the proper style frame for a particular piece of art. So that's our topic. And then we are going to say maybe that designer has written a 10-page, ebook on how to select frame for art, right? That's a possibility.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So we have our topic and we want them to download, we want them to give us our email for this ebook. We want them to click to that, right? Okay. So lead us through it with tangibles then, Jess.
Okay. So you have your topic, which is how to frame art and make it look great. And you have your ebook, which is your call to action at the end, which you would like them to go to your website and opt in and give their email to get this book. So one of the things that I would do is I would look at the book and maybe go through one of the tips in detail and actually show them on video what you're talking about in the book. And then at the end of delivering that content, you would say your call to action is, hey, if you want the whole book with 9 more tips, head on over to my website and you can download it there.
Okay. And this is all, under, is there a timeline that you expect, that you suggest? Is this a 3-minute thing, a 5-minute thing? I've heard different people say that after 2 minutes, people aren't paying attention. And I've heard other people say that a longer video gets more play and gets more, love from Facebook. So where are we at with what's the real deal on that?
So the short video concept comes from YouTube. And the difference between YouTube and Facebook Live is a little bit different in that YouTube people are seeing your video because they're searching for a particular topic in that moment. So YouTube is a search engine. So I would go to YouTube and say how to frame a picture so that it looks good. And I would search for that, and then videos would come up. And then I'm going to kind of pick through the videos to find the one that has the answer that I'm looking for. So I'm targeted in that the video topic that you have is exactly what I was looking for in that moment. Okay. So the shorter, the better, because YouTube is quick. Like people just want to get in, get out, and get the info and go because that's what they were looking for. Facebook is more of a relaxed, putz around, scroll through the timeline. Hey, look at that. Luann's live. I just got a notification. Let me go see what she's talking about. I think I'll click on it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So with Facebook, we have a little bit more leniency, and we also have a lot more leniency in how professional our video looks, because Facebook Live, the expectation is that you're using your cell phone and you're just going to pick up your camera and record. So the lighting, the hair, the makeup, the staging, and all of that stuff does not need to be perfect for a Facebook Live because the expectation is not there. So a lot of people will really go overboard and be like, I didn't want to do it because I'd have to have the lighting right, and then I got to light up the frame and show it on the wall.
I got to put my makeup on. I got to get my hair blown out.
And my hair, my makeup, and what if I wear this dress that doesn't quite match the color of the paint wall and it clashes? Because we think about those things as very creative people, and you don't need to worry about that because Facebook Live is more come as you are and deliver what you have.
And does that advice stay for either the pop-up or the more thought-out content, Jess?
It really is. There is no, I like to call it the Oprah effect. We don't need the whole big studio and the makeup team and the perfect hair and the dress and the magazine shoot to go along with it to create a great video content, because that is not what people are doing on Facebook Live. People are on Facebook Live popping through and they see something that interests them and then they check it out. So that's what's happening on Facebook Live. And then if they check you out and they like you, they're going to follow you on Facebook Live. So the next time that you do a video on Facebook Live, they're going to get a notification that you went live.
And do you say that in your little videos? Do you say, hey, push a button to follow me so you know the next time? Or do you recommend? I know there's a lot of people that will have set it up where every Tuesday at 1:00 they're going to go live. So talk to us a little bit about those strategies.
Consistency is key. So as you're building an audience, if you just pop in here and, Tuesday at 7, I just kind of pop up and I create a video. And then a week later, I kind of do one on a Saturday morning, and you're just kind of popping up randomly all over the place. People don't know what to expect or when to expect you. But if you say every Tuesday at 1:00, I'm going to pop on live and I'm going to do your Q&A for design, or I'm going to show you a design tip, or we're going to talk color, Color Tuesdays, or whatever it is that you come up with for your topic for your business, Furniture Fridays, or whatever works for you. Okay. You can go ahead and schedule it, and then it gives your audience the expectation of when you're going to be on, and they know when to expect it. And if they miss you live, they know that they can get the replay.
Right. Right. Okay.
So it's easier and faster to build an audience when you're consistent.
Okay. So, it does take some planning the way a blog does, but the actual then execution isn't as labor intensive. Because of the blog, you're going to have the same process. You're going to come up with your topic. You're going to come up with the point. You're going to come up with what you're going to say. But then you don't have to stand there for like 5 hours and tweak every word. You just then run with it.
You just go with your knowledge that's in your head and you talk about it and be like, here's the frame. Here's what it looks like with frame A, and here's what it looks like with frame B, and which one do you like better? Give me a vote in the comment and let me know what you think. And, that kind of thing. You can just play with your audience and do that. Just because people are not live and they're watching the replay, they can still comment, they can still like, and they can still share. And that has tremendous value with Facebook Live. The interaction of Facebook Live is what gets you the higher visibility in Facebook. So the more that people give you the hearts, the more that people share, the more the people that show up live, the more people that are following you, the more people that are commenting, the more comments that happen, the more likes to the comments that happen. All of those little things that people can do stack up and add up and help Facebook to say, oh, wow, look, all these comments are happening. People are sharing the video. People are doing all these things. This must be great content. Therefore, I'm going to show it to more people in their timelines.
Okay.
So that's how you build even more audience, because your Facebook Live video will start showing up in more people's timelines because there's so much interaction on your video, and it's going to become suggested videos. So it's going to show it to people even outside of your audience.
And what are we talking about? Do you sort of get that sweet love from Facebook when you have 100 views, 1,000 views? I mean, because I'm sure that if we just all started today doing a Facebook Live once a week, is it just a matter of, like, say I did a Facebook Live today right now, and 100 people commented, hearted it, did all that stuff. Is that enough to go woo? Or does it have to be my 5th time that I've got 100 people? Or do I need 5 times with 1,000 people?
It's still consistency.
Okay.
And you can not only in the way that you present yourself on video by asking for the shares, asking for the likes, asking for the hearts and comments and all of those things. There's things that you can do to game it too. So you can go back later on and you can like everybody's comment because your likes count too. You can go back later on and comment to everybody's comment. And one strategy that works really well is that if somebody comments and says, hey, I really like frame A, is it for sale? You can say, well, this particular frame A isn't for sale, but why don't you book a strategy session with me and we can talk about your particular needs and what is it that you're looking for. So you can create conversations within conversations in the comments and keep building the rapport and building up your own video yourself.
Okay. I like that. So, and it's funny because I think most of us would go in instinctively and at the very least like a comment that a potential client has left us, just to be polite and be responsive, but it actually is a good marketing.
Never just comment too. Comment to the comments. Reply to everybody, even if it's just a smiley face.
Right. Actually,
or,
comment.
I'm so glad that you stopped by, or hey, it's great to see you today, or engage them in conversation. Hey, did you have any other questions? Thanks for stopping by and watching the video today about framing. Did you have any challenges or questions that you have about framing, or did you learn anything today? What other topics would you like to see? Create conversations with them.
Okay. I love it. It's good information. Should we take a minute to I want to ask you one thing. So in your actual video, do you point blank say, it'd be great if you shared this, it'd be great if you gave me a heart, or do you do it more like, do you directly ask in podcasting, we directly ask, would you please review me on iTunes? And we tell them it's important. It's how the show gets found on iTunes. Do you go there, or do you just say, hey, a like would be great? Do you tell them why? Do you tell them why? You know what I'm saying?
The more that you engage them in your mission and your purpose and say, hey, did you know that the more likes and hearts that you give me during this presentation means that the more people are going to see this video and I get to share this awesome info with the whole world. Okay. So bang on those hearts.
I like the way you said it. Did you know? That's so much softer and so much nicer than would you please?
Yeah. Opening questions gets people, can you help me out?
Right. Okay.
Can you help me get my message to a bigger audience? every time that you hit a heart, it means that someone else gets to see this video too.
Okay, awesome. I love it. So should we take a minute, and for the person who maybe has never actually looked at the Facebook platform, and not that they're in their platform, but have never even considered doing a live, like where do they find it? How do they do it? How does it work?
Super easy. So you must have on your phone. Now, there's two ways that you can do Facebook Live now. You can do Facebook Live from your desktop.
Oh, is that universal now, Jess? Everybody can? Because I know there was a while where some computers could and some couldn't, but now every computer can do Facebook Live.
Every computer technically should be able to do Facebook Live. There's sometimes some technical issues that you don't have the latest updates or whatever, but I found that most people have it in Chrome.
Nice. Okay. So go to Chrome if it's not happening for you in a different browser.
Right. So that usually is the stick up there. But the easiest way to do it is your phone. Mm-hmm. And with your phone, you need to have the Facebook app installed. Not Facebook Messenger, the Facebook app.
Okay.
You cannot go to your browser on your phone and go to facebook.com and log in. It won't work for Facebook Live. You must have the Facebook app.
Okay.
Once you have the app installed and you're logged in, you would just go like you're going to create a post. And when you do, you're going to see a little icon, and it's a little red camera with a triangle in it, and it says go live. And you click on that, and then what's going to happen is the screen is going to come up, and you're going to be able to see yourself on the camera, but you're not live yet. It's called the green room.
Okay.
It's kind of getting ready to go live. So you can kind of check and make sure you don't have any green spinach in your teeth. Or check your hair, check your lighting, and all of that. But there's also another opportunity there where it's going to say description. And with the description, what you want to do is you want to type in something that's going to tell people about what it is that your live video is about. And you want it to write it just like you're going to write a headline for your blog or a subject line for your email. You want to write it so that it's a compelling headline that people are going to want to watch your video, because that's the first thing that they're going to see to decide whether they want to stop and watch your video or not. Because as you know, when you're going through your timeline and you see that a video is playing, there's no sound.
Right.
And the video just plays. So that description that you type in is going to be key on whether they click on your video to listen in or whether they just keep scrolling by.
Okay. And that's a title. That description is a title. It's not a big long sentence. It's like we said, I write it like I'm writing a blog. So I write it like my headline for my blog, and then I write a little bit of content underneath. Okay. So how to style, how to select frames, or, 5 best tips for selecting frames and something like that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Perfect headlines. Yep.
Okay. So then we type that description in. And then
you'll see a second button that says go live with the same camera, red camera. And you click on that, and it's going to count backwards. 3, 2, 1, and then you go live. And that's it. You're recording, you're live, you're streaming and broadcasting to everyone in the whole world.
Now, once we're live, do you recommend that you start each video with, "Hi, this is Sally Smith from Sally Smith Interiors in Des Moines, Iowa, and today I wanted to talk about framing your art"? Or do you just start, "Hi, I'm talking about framing your art"? Like, do you identify yourself every time?
I do, because not everybody has seen you before.
Right.
And we have to remember your Facebook Live gets shared. Particularly if you set up systems like I work with my clients in my Facebook Live Academy, where we syndicate your videos. And what that means is that just because you're on Facebook Live doesn't mean you stay on Facebook Live. So we set up systems and processes where when my client goes live on Facebook, they also post to Twitter, post to LinkedIn, post to YouTube, and write a blog post automatically just because they went live. So your video, your Facebook Live, ideally is going to show up in a whole bunch of other places than just Facebook.
Okay. How does it show up to places that are writing, like LinkedIn? Does LinkedIn have video? You're saying it goes as a live video in LinkedIn?
So your description that you type in and your headline and your description goes as text, and then a link with a screenshot of the video goes to LinkedIn, and then when they click on it, it opens up the Facebook Live.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And that's an automated thing that you
can automate it. Yes.
Whoa. That's mind blown right there. I'm just saying.
It's a huge opportunity.
That's amazing. So from your Facebook Live, it can be set up that it goes to Twitter, LinkedIn. What else did you say?
YouTube. your blog. It will actually open up your WordPress blog, write a blog post, and embed the Facebook Live video in your blog without you doing a thing.
Oh my
And
goodness.
wait, it gets better. I just got my hands on a new software that just came out, and I'm setting my first few clients on it. It will take your Facebook Live. It will upload the video to iTunes as a podcast episode, including the podcast image.
What?
And it will strip the audio out of your Facebook Live video and upload it to podcast iTunes as the audio as well. So you get the video cast and the audio cast.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
So wait, okay. So, okay. Well, I know of at least 3 listeners that have podcasts, so I'll indulge myself with this question here. So wait, if somebody that has a podcast like myself, does it just go into my same podcast feed, my Facebook Live video, or I have to?
Yes, it can.
Oh my
if
goodness.
that's how you set it up, or you can set up a whole different podcast stream for like shorts.
That's amazing.
Yes, it is.
That's pretty fabulous. See, because I have to say that what is so daunting about all of these things, like you started with your first statement, and you said, Luann, don't we want to start with why do you want to do this? I have so much to do already. I mean, once you're convinced and you understand, like you so expertly explained, if Facebook is putting, money into advertising Facebook Live, then that's where they're going. And if we're going along with them, we better get on the train. But when you talk about that, a single Facebook Live event that takes me 3 minutes to do can be across that many platforms with plugins that are automated. That's a little beyond unbelief there. It's
like crazy exciting. I have been doing video for 4.5 years, and I was excited about Facebook Live. And then when all of this started coming out, and I've been, in watching the development of it and beta testing it for a while, and now it's finally been made public and we got our hot little hands on it. And I'm just in love because it's so easy for you to stand on a platform on Facebook Live and take your phone and film and create really great content and reach like a massive audience across all the social media platforms without any extra work.
I almost can't speak, I have to say. Yeah, almost can't. Like I am just sitting here and my brain is reeling through all the things in my mind. And I'm like saying, Luann, you're in the middle of an interview. You can't start dreaming now. Like you got to lock it down, girl, and ask some more questions.
Well, there you go. We'll have to book you for a profit strategy session. So
it's the truth. Oh my goodness. That's unbelievable. That really is pretty spectacular. And I have to say, well, I want to ask you something. Part of me feels like that you're going to say the answer is because as excited as, 2,000 people listening are to this information, 10 of them are going to act on it. But is there a danger that when it is so easy for every single one of us to create a 3-minute video and have it splattered on 20 different platforms that it loses its value? Like who needs 9,000 podcasts that are all 3-minute Facebook, live videos? Like what do you feel about that? Is it just that the percentage of people doing it are so low that it still is going to be powerful, or it just doesn't matter because that's how people are going to find people? What do you say about that?
I think it's twofold. One, in that right now you're going to be the anomaly or the unicorn.
Yes, right.
Because there's nobody out there doing this type of thing, and it's so new. But then because you've created your audience, because you've created the content, because you now have a massive library of all of this stuff that's shown and showing up everywhere, in business, who wins is the one who shows up.
Right. Right. And the rest of us are thinking about it. I know. You know what? I hear that because honestly, we have been talking about Facebook Live on the podcast since last September. For the longtime listeners, they know that we did a Facebook Live challenge and in conjunction with Nick May. Rachel Moriarty was our inspiration for it. And of course, I lasted 17 days. I mean, it was a 30-day challenge. I lasted 17 days because my brain was spinning. I actually have to say, I got very tied up on I got very tied up on being critical that the videos were worth anybody's time to watch. And so I didn't do it in relation to the podcast. I did it in relation to window work. So I was trying to do a tip every day on window treatments or awnings. And I would walk around in circles in my house and look at the window treatments and go, well, what could I say about this window treatment? Well, what could I say about this one? And I have to say that the two things that stopped me was really believing and understanding that the information is valuable, which, there's the other part of me that just smacks my head and knows that I know that, just because I know it, 1,000 other people don't know it. But yeah. I also, what stopped me also was feeling like if it weren't really, truly professionally done, if I didn't give it good thought, instead of stammering over my words and, just hesitating, it was just like, what are you doing? Like, stop it. Don't even bother. You know what I'm saying? So you're saying that it's okay for it to be casual and it to be relaxed and it to not be a professional Oprah Winfrey production.
Yep, absolutely. One of the biggest things about video is really letting go and giving yourself permission to F up.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty cool. So, all right. So I have a couple of questions. We want to identify ourselves in the beginning of every Facebook Live. Do we share things like our website? Do we share things like, what do we share? We want to share our call to action, but do we also do a little, does it end with every little one ends with a little bit of a commercial? Like, that's what I'm not sure. The mix between I'm just giving you great content and of course This is my business.
I keep my Facebook Lives really clean. I don't confuse or muddy the water. I have a call to action and that's the call to action I want you to do.
Okay.
So I don't say, hey, I've got this free cheat sheet and then also my website and my phone number. And, I don't do that. I just give them one thing and one thing only. And, with the Facebook Live, they're on Facebook. They can click on it, and your Facebook profile is going to come up. So if they're looking for you, they can find you.
Right.
But, I want to keep driving them to my call to action because that's my end goal.
Okay. So I like that. That's I like, it's a clean answer and I love it because I think when we were all doing it back in September, it was like, okay, and this is my website and this is how you can find me. And it's like, oh my God. See, I didn't feel great about what I was personally doing. Forget what the others were doing. Rachel did an amazing job. A lot of them did a really amazing job, but I personally wasn't feeling it. I was like, what are you doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have to say, I think I started that before a moment ago because we were talking about how just doing it, that a lot of us are going to think about it and only some of us are actually going to do it. And that was your answer to when I said, do you think if everybody, this gets easy for everybody to do, it's going to have less value in doing it. But the truth is I've known for 10 months that I need to do this and I still haven't locked it down and done it. So there are a lot of us out there that just keep going, I should do that. Okay. All right. And then tell me about another thing that has stopped me from getting back involved and being serious about it is because I know there is some way, but I don't know what the way is, that isn't there a way, or is it not for this platform, where you can have the text of what you're saying over your video because, people are listening at work, they're, while your other family members are watching TV. Is that not this? Am I mistaking that platform with Facebook Live?
You are correct.
Oh, okay.
If you originate your video from a business page, fan page, public figure page, any of those type of Facebook business pages, and you originate your Facebook Live from there, you get a feature where all of your Facebook Lives are archived in what's called the video library. So when your Facebook Live ends, you can go back to your video library and you can do some fun things. You can edit the description. You can choose a custom thumbnail to see how the video shows up when it's not auto playing. You can add in keywords so that your video becomes searchable. You can also create a video library of all of your Facebook Lives and post one video. You can choose one video to be the featured video that will automatically play when somebody comes to your library page. Okay. So there's a whole lot that you can do and a tremendous benefit to having your Facebook Lives start from a business page. The other piece that is also really cool about it is that you can upload captions. So when your Facebook Live ends, you can come back and you can upload an SRT file, a captions file. And that way, when your replay of your Facebook Live plays, the little words will come across the screen, which is a very important tool for marketing.
Now, is that like a little just pluggy widgy thing that you just hit and it automatically does? Is it any more difficult than that?
It kind of works just like YouTube does, that your words are there, and you may need some editing if it's done by a computer.
Okay. Is that are you saying that it doesn't have to be done by a computer? You could type it in? I mean,
you can type it in. You can upload your own file, yes.
Okay.
Of your transcript.
So how would you, I mean, now how would you really do that? Would you
like rev.com?
Okay.
Rev.com is $1 a minute, and they get it done in 24 hours. So you just send them the link to your Facebook Live, and then they'll transcribe it and send you the file, and then you just upload the file.
Oh my God. On one hand, this is all so amazing and so easy. On the other hand, it just gets like a rabbit hole. There's like
well, yeah, no, there's an SOP. There's a standard operating procedure for getting it all done. And
yes,
of course, there's a checklist for that.
Well, right. And that's the truth. That's why you are successful at what you do, because you do, we're sitting here talking about it and all the possibilities, but it's, what it is? It reminds me exactly what interior designers do, truthfully. An interior designer could be sitting here having a conversation with another interior designer. There could be a homeowner listening, and they could talk about how, when we do a kitchen and we have to pick the tile, and, but don't forget when you do this, you have to make sure the refrigerator fits. And it's like, they know what they're talking about. They're sharing 16 tons of advice, but the person listening is thinking, oh my God, how could I actually put a kitchen together for myself? And that's what the designer's going to say. Well, hello, that's what I'm here for. So I get that you're sharing it all with us, but if anybody really wants to execute it and they don't want to take their time, it's people like yourself that, we can hire to help walk us through it and do the program. So
and the transcript piece, that's optional. It's not required. I have one client in particular, Marion Stewart, and she owns a Facebook group, which is Beat Menopause the Natural Way. And she started out with a zero business 4 months ago. She came up with this concept and said that I'm going to help women go through menopause the natural way without hormone replacement therapy. And so she started working on Facebook Live. She came to my one-day live boot camp that I hold in Florida, and she made her first Facebook Live that day. Actually, she made a couple of them in the boot camp, and she received rave reviews. And I had suggested to her that she set up a Facebook group, and that the only thing that she do is drive all of her CTA for all of her initial videos to her Facebook group and build her group, build her tribe, build her audience. And so she did daily Facebook Lives. And her group 4 months later has over 7,000 women in the group.
Wow.
And she has done nothing but Facebook Lives. She did them daily for about the first month through the week, Monday through Friday. And now she does them 2 or 3 times a week, scheduled in her group. But she built her whole entire audience of over 7,000 people in less than 4 months just by doing Facebook Lives.
That's pretty remarkable.
And she has never uploaded a transcript.
Okay. So she
didn't do the extra steps.
Right.
Did the extra steps help? Yes. Are they necessary? Not always. She had great success with it. I have not uploaded transcripts yet. I will be, because I'm revamping my whole system and to get more results from the video. But, sometimes if you need a boost, it's good to use those extra tools.
Okay. And what I'm hearing in there is, don't stop yourself because the extra step is complicated. Just get moving.
Yep,
I heard that. I got that.
People are like lighting to this, to that, hop on and film with your camera and do something fun and provide massive value for your audience, and just leave it at that.
Yes.
Yes. The extra stuff is great. The extra oomph, when you start, getting a return on it, and you start getting your audience and you're building your audience and you get in your groove, and, the Facebook stuff is more comfortable because you've done it a bunch of times, then start thinking about transcripts and all the extra stuff that you could do.
Right. Yeah. I have to say, I tend to, when I'm going to do something like this for business, I tend to really research the heck out of it and well, okay. And then somebody will say it's really great to have the transcripts for the people who are listening where they're at work. They don't want to get caught by their boss. So then I'm like, oh, well, then, until I research that and I figure that out, there's no reason to start Facebook Live. I just tend to get muck and mired because I feel like do it the very best I can out the gate. And I sometimes forget just doing it is really the very best that you can do sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. But I'm always concerned about putting the best foot forward and not having to look back at original or older stuff and being like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I did that. You know what I mean? So, but you're saying this is a more casual platform and not to get really stuck in the weeds.
Yeah, it is a more casual platform. And, when you think about it, in reality, perfection is the lowest standard. Because if it's perfect, then there's no room for improvement, which is impossible.
Right. Exactly. No, it's true. I have to say, would you agree with me that the interior design field is just a really prime market for Facebook Live, right? There's a lot of businesses it may or may not be actually ideal for, but this is one, isn't it?
It really is because it's hyper visual.
Right.
I've done things where I've done screen share, on my computer. I've worked as a graphic designer, doing visual design for a very long time. And, looking at that, you can do screen shares. You can do, hey, before and afters. You can say which color is right for me. You can have fun with your audience. You can do quizzes and polls and let them decide like which painting belongs on the wall. There's so many things that you can do to educate your audience and just have a blast with it. You can go into a major hotel and critique their interior design.
Right. You really right off the top of your head, 8 ideas.
Yeah, there you go. I have fun. Actually, that's one of my favorite things to do is when I work with people, I do this thing called the genius extraction method. And it's an interview for an hour where you pretend that I'm one of your ideal clients and we're having a conversation. And at the end, I hand you a document with over 50 ideas for you to create videos just from our conversation.
Whoa, that's pretty amazing.
It's fun. That's
yes.
one of my favorites to do.
Well, I'll tell you, that's worth the price of admission because it's another thing that has stopped me because I feel like when I did the 17, we were doing the 30-day thing. We just really decided on a Thursday to do it. And we decided to start that day. And I was like, oh, and I remember I was on the line with Nick. I was interviewing him. I was like, well, because I'm thinking, wait, I got to figure out and he was like, yeah, let's just do it today. I'm like, oh, okay, let's just do it today. All right, starting now. He's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, oh my God. So I was like, and so by the 17th day, I was like, I don't have any more ideas. I have to think about ideas. You know what I mean? But I was checking myself too. I was constantly checking oh, that's a dumb idea, Luann. Oh, that's silly. Nobody wants to know that. And so that exploratory with you is valuable because you are not in the industry and you are able to objectively know what you would want to know about your particular client's industry once you have had your exploratory conversation with it. I think that's pretty awesome because there are people like me that like to have it all figured out and locked down.
Not necessary for Facebook video.
No, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. Now, a couple of last questions about it. You mentioned that the woman that grew her following to over 7,000 in 4 months, that she did 5 days a week for X amount of weeks to begin with.
For the first couple of weeks she did to build momentum.
Okay.
Because what happens is that someone sees your video and then you're asking them to share and like and comment. And when they do that, their friends see it.
Okay.
So it's just the power of the social platform and leveraging it in that way. So that's really all that she did for the first couple of weeks was just pop on, do a live, educate, ask people to share, like, and comment. And then at the end, she would invite them to come into her group or she would provide a free copy of her ebook when they came into the group. And that was her overall strategy, and it worked really, really well.
Okay. And there's a distinction there. First, I want to finish what I was saying. So the suggestion is for an established period of time, whatever you can muster, whether it's 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, to do pretty much daily to build some momentum as opposed to just starting with once a week. But once you got some momentum, you're okay if it goes down to once a week or twice a week or whatever it might be. Okay. But
even if you just did, a Facebook Live twice a week.
Okay, even that to start is not a bad.
A little bit more than once a week because you really want to get your audience used to you, and you're not going to hit all of your audience every time that you go live because they're not used to seeing you.
And did she do that first several, whatever it lasted, did she do the same time every day from the outset, or did she just do it all over?
No, she was testing to see when and where her audience would show up. So she tested different times and different days and different things to see what connected best with her audience.
Okay. And I can see that if you're going to make a commitment for 5 days a week to do exactly that, do it at all different times and see how much, what times a day you get the most engagement. And then maybe going forward, if you're going to back it down to 2 days a week, if there were a time in a day that really had particularly high engagement, you would sort of, go there. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then there was another thing that you said in there. So is there a distinction in giving them, do you feel that there's benefit in telling them that you have the ebook, but to get it to come to your group and get it by joining the group first, or sometimes just say, here, click here for the ebook, and sometimes ask them to go to the group and then what do you think about that?
It's whatever space works for you. Like when they come to my group, they have to opt in anyway. Or if they opt in via email, they get an invite to my group anyway in the email autoresponder. So I keep everything full circle.
Okay. So now so in other words, in your call to action, you might only be suggesting that they click on the ebook, but as soon as that ebook happens, then your automated things are asking them to join your Facebook group and yada, yada, and vice versa. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. So you don't, again, keep your Facebook Live video clean with a single call to action and let your automated stuff behind the scenes do the work for you.
Yep. You got it.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Anything that we left out, Jess?
Wow, we covered a lot.
You did. We did. I mean, so here's the thing. You and I didn't discuss this beforehand, but it came up during the conversation. And what are the programs and things that you offer? And you mentioned a boot camp thing, and you mentioned, I'm aware that you have certain free things on your website, but what are the different things if people are intrigued by this and would like to take advantage of professional help?
So my free is, I have a couple things. I have my She Broadcast group, which is a group on Facebook called She Broadcasts. So it's facebook.com/groups/She Broadcasts. And that is a group, I think we're at 728 women from all over the world who are interested in broadcasting online with live video.
Okay.
And in that group, I do trainings. You can ask questions. There's support. There's a bunch of people in there who are all working together to create videos for their business. So there's a lot of support, which is why I created the group. And within that, I also have a Facebook Live cheat sheet, and that is pinned to the top of that group page. So you can grab a copy of that. And I have courses as well. So I have currently right now a 4-week course, which is done all online, and it's a group coaching program. So you get to work with me for 4 weeks in a small group setting. There's about 10 people in each class. And what we do is we walk you through step by step your specific, unique Facebook strategy for your business. And we help you create that and implement it, and then improve it during the 4-week period. And that is the Facebook Live Academy.
How do you do it unique to each person if there's 10 people in the group? And, what are you meeting for an hour a week, or how does that work?
So we have a process that we do where we have you do some tasks to complete regarding who your ideal client is and who your business is. So there's exercises and things that you do as part of the course. Mm-hmm. And then from that work, you send it to me and I review it. And my course includes one-on-one coaching sessions as part of the 4-week course. And that's where I work with you on your individual strategy, and we come up with a plan, and then you implement it as part of the course.
Okay. And so the group section of the group part where you meet is more for questions and generalizations and, comparing notes and brainstorming ideas, it sounds like.
That's Q&A. So I'll present, we have an action step each week of something for you to implement. So for this week, they're on week 2. One of the key things for them to do is to clean up their Facebook business page. Since we're broadcasting from that, we want to make sure that we get the most bang for our buck out of that. So this week, they're working on keyword optimizing their Facebook business pages and making sure that everything is set up in the best way possible to promote their business.
Okay. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Valuable stuff. I love it. Yes. I think it's amazing. Thank you, Jess, so much for coming on the show and sharing all of this with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining me again today for another episode of A Well-Designed Business. This podcast is a production of WindowWorks in Livingston, New Jersey, your trade resource for custom window treatments and awnings. Learn more about WindowWorks at www.windowworks-nj.com. All of our music is original music by Room 2 Productions. Please contact us if you want to learn more about original music for your business or your events.